When I first moved to an international school, everything was new. Yes, it was exciting and interesting to have a totally different environment, but it was definitely a challenge to have a different environment too. But still, it was not impossible. Then, some of you will ask, why did you come to international school even though you know the hardships you will face? To answer this, I should probably go back to when I was young. During my childhood, I had a dream to study at an American university. To be specific, Cornell University. In other words, my dream school is Cornell. I wanted to study abroad, face many people, face difficulties, and challenge myself, which I believe will make me grow as a person. So I entered that world of uncertainty. Before I came to SJA, my first school I went was Brainstorm Asia. In fact, that first day of school wasn't long from now. It was February 22nd, 2021. I still remember even a single second of that day. I was afraid, but also so excited. Actually, I felt much more afraid than being excited. During all that day, my hand was unstable. Yes, I was anxious so much. Still, everything I see was new and interesting. But also it was harsh and tough to start all over. At first, every single thing I had to know and learn came in a rush. As an extremely introverted person, my mind was in total panic even though I was smiling outside. To tell you in detail, the first most challenging wall that I faced was communication. As a Korean student who lived their life only using Korean, it was definitely a challenge to just talk and ask with English. It was hard to do my assignments since I had to show my work, which will compare with students who have done this for years. But it's not finished yet. Another challenge that I faced was living in the dorm. Since the school is in Jeju, my whole family couldn't move to Jeju, so I should stay in dorm. At first, I was so excited to live with my friends, but my anticipation was quite different with the reality. During the first few weeks I stayed in dorm, I realized that it was really hard to control myself, to live independently. Honestly, the hardest part was the relationship. As I mentioned before, I am an introverted person who rarely talks to someone when I meet them at first time. Obviously, it was hard for me to come close to them. Then, to re-answer the question before, why I came to international school was not only about the wonder of studying abroad. It was just all about one TV show. But I won't deny this. My family, especially my mom and I, love to watch this show. I bet most of you will know about this show, Friends, the legendary classic American TV show. Then you might think, Friends is not really about learning or studying. Then why did you think of studying in international school with friends? The dream to study in America was not just about academics. It was about the environment. I'm not criticizing the learning environment in other countries, but in Friends, it showed me that there are not only one pathway in life. For Rachel, who relied all on her parents all her life, she started to find the pathways that she really enjoys and starts her own life that's trying to do what she wants to do. That is when I knew the power of motivation. That show, that scene, those actresses motivated me. During the time I spent in Korean school, I just studied in a passive way. I studied just because I should and do what others said I should. But now, I know there are infinite ways to choose my future. Then I thought that to go to larger world, I should go to university out in the world, not just in Korea. After I came to pursue my dream of studying in America and doing what I really want to do, I started to find the majors and pathways to find what I should do. Obviously, in order to go to the top schools, I should study hard for good grades. Yes, I knew it was hard to catch up, but I tried my best. Every day, I woke up early and studied until I went to school, and I went to my teachers every time I could to ask and get help from them. It was hard and tiring, but every time I thought of my dream, I could forget all of that. Yes, it was all about motivation. That power of motivation that I felt all through my body is even the power that I can stand here and speak to you. At first, when I felt it was so impossible, it all changed to hope. I had a strong faith that I could do this. I can totally change myself. This might seem I am kind of exaggerating, but this short phrase made me change. As people say, effort never betrays. Yes, I totally felt that. Through all those studying and working on projects, I got the high honors hour from school. At first, it even seemed impossible to just finish the assignment. But the motivation and the belief that I can do this made me successful. Yet, it would be a relatively small success in my overall life, but it made me work harder. It became another motivation. Not only about the grades, but I also developed a lot. I learned how to write lab reports, business pitches, and numerous things. For the next few moments, I'm going to stop talking about academics. And among the difficulties that I mentioned, I'm going to talk about dorm life. To bring up the conclusion first, my life cycle totally changed. Yes, 100%. To talk about my past life cycle, I used to have really unbalanced cycle. Usually I stayed up until dawn, and it was definitely not a good cycle. It made me tired all the time, literally every day, every second. But after I moved to dorm, I had to make my own cycle and regulate it. I ate meals at the same time, woke up early, and sleep early. But this was not only about waking up early. I started to make specific study plans. I wrote my study planner with my tasks, and this made me use my time wisely and efficiently. With those specific plans, I was able to do all my work and take my time hanging out with my friends and watching movies. The whole energy to do all these come from the power of motivation. Motivation to do my best as much as I could. The power of motivation made me develop. Even though I have been through these challenges, and I'm sure that this is a challenge for myself, I have no doubt about my choice to come to international school. It made me grow. It gave me an ability that I can use throughout my life. More than anything, I learned how to use my time efficiently, how to live independently. But this couldn't exist without the power of motivation. Thank you.